What happens when Civil War soldiers' burials are uncovered by a landslide? Hi, I'm Angela Sutton. I'm a professor studying slavery, piracy, and historical sites related to the Civil War, and I'm a consulting party for a reinterment project happening at the Vicksburg National Cemetery in Mississippi. Many of the USCT, the segregated black regiments of our nation's military who died in Vicksburg, were buried on what archaeologists suspect is a native burial mound. The South is full of them. Now, burying someone on a hill wasn't the best idea. After a particularly stormy past couple years, the mound experienced a landslide, and dozens of bodies were disturbed. When I came to visit back in March of this year, it looked bad. Some of the remains had been forced to the surface. The park rangers at Vicksburg were on it, though. They wrote a grant and reached out to many people and groups who know a thing or two about black soldiers, the Civil War, burial sites, and bioarchaeology. Together, we talked through the plan to remove the remains to an on-site osteology lab and storage space, stabilize the initial site, and then rebury them with honor under supervision of descendants, the sons of Union veterans, and representatives from the U.S. military and the Choctaw Nation. In the process of doing this, here are some of the artifacts that they found. Now, these are really interesting as they speak to a layered use of the site. So a lot of people don't know that parts of Mississippi used to belong to Spanish-occupied Florida. Now, those of you who have watched some of my other videos on Fort Mose or on Negro Fort know where I'm going with this. So this is a pony bead. It was made in between 1776 and 1810, and it was used for trade by Choctaw with settler populations, which suggests some interactions between the colonial Spanish or U.S. government and the Choctaw who controlled the region at the time, back when that site was called Fort Nogales. Here's another piece from that era, a possible fragment of what is called blue pearlware that was used by the soldiers of Spanish Florida. Now, if you recall from some of my previous videos, the entire border between Spanish Florida and the U.S. was settled by black soldiers, many of them whom the Spanish lured away from their American enslavers. That's right, the Spanish government in Florida offered any enslaved person in the United States a gun to point at their enslavers if they ran south and they agreed to be citizens of Spain. And many people enslaved Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee took that chance and they ran south. So mixed in with these Spanish Florida artifacts are Civil War artifacts. You have buttons, medals, and my favorite, Masonic coffin decorations. So these bronze-plated grapevine decorations and the pyramid pentagon medallions were placed in or on the coffins of black soldiers who belonged to a fraternity. This one here is for Stringer Lodge No. 1, the very first African American Masonic lodge established in Mississippi. The medallion was generally reserved for people who had served as lodge master. So plan your visit to the Vicksburg National Military Park to learn more, and stay tuned because this is not going to be the only Vicksburg video I do.